John consulted for Duncan Hunter's presidential campaign and was on the board of Slate Card, which raised more than $600,000 for candidates in the 2008 election cycle. So we give a warm welcome and a hand of applause to Mr. John Hawkins.
First patriotic Americans in Myrtle Beach who came out on a Saturday night because they care about their country. There's a reason these tea parties have started, not just here in Myrtle Beach, but across the country. And it's because people are concerned that their children are not going to have the same opportunities that they've had. And there's a lot of reason to be concerned, my friends, a lot of reason. You see, we have two choices. The first is the status quo. And I can tell you a lot about the status quo in D.C. I can tell you about the stimulus bill that cost over $1 trillion and didn't stimulate the economy one bit. I can tell you about the government taking over Chrysler. I can tell you about the government taking over General Motors. But I'm going to talk to you about cap and trade. And that's the bill that Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama just pushed through the House. This bill is the largest tax increase in American history. So, what does that mean for me? Well, nobody knows for sure. Not a big surprise for Congress, but the estimates go from a few $100s per person up to $3,600 per American family. Now, you may be saying to yourself, for that much money, we must have gotten something really great. Not exactly. You see, if, like me, you don't believe there is any man-made global warming, then this bill was a complete waste of time from start to finish. On the other hand, even if you do believe in global warming, they had made so many compromises to get it passed. Cut greenhouse gases. That's why even back this bill. Now, that's the cost of it. And you may ask yourself how they ended up signing on to the largest tax increase in American history. You got it. That's exactly right. This bill, my friends, was 1,200 pages in length. And the first time the full bill was available was 14 hours before they voted on it. And all of it was legalese. There was not one single solitary soul in Congress, not a Congress, not an aide, no one who read that bill. Now that's business as usual in Washington, D.C. You've got people making changes that affect your life, that will affect this country for decades, and they're not even bothering to read the deals with the devil they're signing on behalf of this country. Now there is an alternative to that. That alternative is called you. And by you, I don't mean somebody that's not here. Or somebody paid by a rich guy 5 states over. Or the person to your left or your person to your right. I mean you personally. The alternative is for you to get involved. Now you may say, John, me, what can I do? I'm not rich. I'm not a senator. I'm not a congressman. I'm not a talk radio host. How can I make a difference? I'm going to tell you something, folks. One thing I have found in life is that one person who is dedicated, one person who cares, one person who shows up and is willing to work is worth 5,000 people who believe exactly the same thing and sit at home. So my advice to you would be to start small. If you find like a talk show radio host you like, a blog you like, a columnist you like, let your friends know about it. Tell them all about it. And you have a group that represents your views, like the Minutemen, like the Fair Tax People, like the NRA, the Club for Growth, the Sam Adams Alliance. Go out there and support them. They need your help. Now, if you're talking about a politician, there are a few good politicians in this country. You have one of them in this state, and I'm not going to say his name. I will say it's not Lindsey Graham. But if you do have a politician like that, give him your support. Put a sign in your yard. Link envelopes for him. Make calls. With the technology we have today, folks, you can get out the vote calls for any politician in the country that you support. You can make a difference. Now, if you are in a district or a state where you don't like the person you got up there, you can still make a difference, because I've found about 90% of the people in Congress care about one thing and one thing only, and that is keeping their cushy jobs. That means they care about polls, they care about donors, and they care about their constituents. If enough of you call in, they will change their minds. You would be surprised at how effective that is. Now, some people will tell you that we're too far gone down the road to socialism to make a difference. That there's not a thing you can do, that we can sit out here and have tea parties all day long. It won't make one iota of difference. I will tell you something. It's not going to be easy to make a change, but it's never been easy for Americans. Our ancestors were pioneers. They colonized this country one wagon train at a time, and there wasn't any TiVo on the Oregon Trail. The founding fathers, they went out and they fought the British, the superpower of their day, and they didn't do it in England, they did it here amongst their families and their homes, and they did it for the freedom we have today. We've gone through a lot in this country: industrial revolution, a depression, a civil war. We've saved the whole world from tyranny, not one time, two times, but three times. World War I, World War II, and the Cold War. Every last time they said America couldn't do it again. Every last time they said, this time people in America are too soft. They're too ignorant. They can't go out and change things. And every last time they were wrong. Americans proved them wrong, and we're going to prove them wrong this time too. And the people who are going to prove them wrong are you and the people at the other tea parties across this country. The last thing I have to say to you is never give up on your freedom. Never give up on your rights, and never, ever give up on your country. Keep fighting and we will win.
Yeah.